Hey guys, today we have Rohan and he is having total 2 years of experience in Java, Spring Boot and microservices. And guys, those who want to give same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello Rohan, how are you?
Yeah, hi Faizan. Good afternoon.
Good
I'm fine.
afternoon. Shall we start?
Yes, we can start.
Okay. So can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
So thank you so much for giving me opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Rohan Lakshman Mahangre, and I have 2 years of experience as a Java backend developer. So recently, I have worked upon a project. So basically, my company works in an IoT domain. So we provide the software solutions for the plastic manufacturing companies. So in my recent project, we have implemented a feature related to the checklist. So in which end user can fill the checklist and based upon that we are also calculates the for the particular mold how means we give the analysis key after how much time you have to do the maintenance kind of a thing we show. So for this purpose we have implemented this particular feature for the
Okay.
checklist.
So what's the algorithm you are using to calculate that stuff?
So for this particular calculating that stuff, first at the time of onboarding, we takes the information such as the what will be their primitive maintenance frequency,
Hmm.
health maintenance
Hmm.
frequency, and based upon their current average cycle time of that particular mold, we try to calculate key after how
Okay.
many days if the production happens, then after approximate how much time it will need to do the next maintenance. So these kind of analytics we provide.
Got it. So, can you tell me in your project where are you using immutability concept?
Immutability concept. So immutable means basically once we have defined up one particular class or object, then
Mm-hmm.
we can't change the state of that particular object. So in my recent project, uh, we are not using such kind of a thing as I
Okay, you are
remember.
not using. Okay, but do you know what makes a class truly immutable in Java?
If we are extending that particular class with the final keyword, then that will be immutable class. So no, the furthermore classes can't basically inherit that particular class.
Okay,
So
so
by
only making things final.
correct by using the
Okay,
final.
like you are saying making the class final and making all fields final and private, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we have several more steps like initialize fields, throw constructor only, do not provide setters, perform defensive copying for mutable objects. Okay, so were you aware about that?
I'm aware about one more thing is using the sealed class also we can do.
Okay,
Means
mm,
till that particular point only it will mean stop the inheritance. Afterwards we can't extend that particular scope.
got it. So let's say if your immutable class has a field of type list of string, how do you ensure the list cannot be mutated from outside the class?
From outside the class.
Mhm.
We can means declare that particular field as private
Okay,
and means if we are giving the get means setter type of a method, then from outside the class we can basically change the state, but if we are not giving, then from inside the class only we will be able to change the state of that particular list.
okay, got it. But there might have one situation like if we make our list private and final, then we cannot change the list, but we cannot add the values, remove the values outside the class, right?
Correct.
So then how this class will be immutable?
Can you repeat one more time?
Okay, so my question is if your immutable class has a field of type list of string, how do you ensure the list cannot be mutated from outside the class? See, if we make a list final and private, like private final list of string, then in outside of the class we can change the values, we can add the values in the list, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
here we should use defensive copying, means we should not return the original list. Instead of we should copy. We should make a copy of that list and return that copy, right? So
Okay.
that in outside of the class, if someone is trying to change the list, then that person will be able to change the copied list, not the original list.
Okay, I got it. Only the means from the outside, only the means we will pass the another reference, not the original
Hmm.
list ka value. So if
Yes,
we are
yes.
passing the another reference, then our original particular list will
Hmm.
be means as it is, it will not change. So even if from the outside, if they are trying to change, means as the reference is different, it will not change the our original one.
Correct, correct. Rohan, I would like to share one important thing with you. Actually, we had launched complete interview preparation material, structured step by step by myself, expert and MNC's interviewers. And the best part is that now no one need to go anywhere else to prepare interviews. There's a 99% chance that interviewers will ask questions from this material. So basically, it contains a lot of material categorized by experience level. Means each experience level has different material with all possible interview question and answers for Java, Spring Framework, Maven, Git, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data JPA, Kafka, microservices, Java coding questions, Stream API coding questions, and many more. I have provided the link to get this in the below description. And if someone needs this material plus two real enterprise client projects for the references plus one-on-one lifetime doubt sessions and referrals to the big MNCs, then they should check the interview preparation kit. I will provide the link for this as well in the description below. So now moving to our interview. Okay, so Rohan, let's say three APIs can run in parallel. Okay, so how
Okay,
would you implement it using multi-threading concept?
using a multi-threading concept.
Mm-hmm.
So basically means uh, you also want to make sure ki means data consist means if there is something as the means we want to keep the data consistent, then
Mm-hmm.
we can for that particular means uh, method or variable we can go with
Okay,
the synchronized block. So at a one time only one particular method
API can be called,
can be
but
called.
I want to
And
run these three APIs parallelly, not one by one.
so we can only on particular means data block only we can go with the synchronize, or we can use the rental lock kind of a thing. So only specific particular means logic where we are having that particular concurrency logic, there only we can go with the locking, and rest we can go with the normal means method. So in this way, the at a time only one thread will access that particular part.
Got it. And actually, the answer is we can use completable future concept here to run three APIs parallelly. First, we will make three objects of completable future of that APIs, right? Then
Okay,
we will do completable future dot all, right?
okay,
Then join, and then we can execute these three APIs parallelly. Okay.
okay.
So, Rohan, can you please tell me some new Java 8 features that were introduced at that time and are really helpful?
So talking about the first feature is the lambda expressions.
Mm-hmm.
So lambda expressions basically without uh, declaring a class, basically if we want to write the implementation for a particular interface by then by using the lambdas, we can
Mm-hmm.
easily write. So it avoids the much of boilerplate code and
Okay.
creation of the anonymous class, we can say.
Mm-hmm.
And mhm.
Okay, so what's the difference between anonymous class and lambda expressions?
So anonymous class means let's suppose we are having one interface and without
Mm-hmm.
creating the class, we want to write the implementation. Then by
Mm-hmm.
using the new keyword with that particular interface, and after
Mm-hmm.
the completing the our brackets, we can in the curly braces, basically
Mm-hmm.
we can override the method. So that will be
Mm-hmm.
the our anonymous class.
Okay, all right. Why Stream API were introduced in Java 8? We were working with loops, traditional loops, and there was no issues with those with them, right? Then why a Stream API came into the picture?
Mm, I'm not sure,
Okay,
but
think about it. Like
but
why we are using it? Like just think about it and give any answer. Whether it is correct
so
or not, it doesn't matter.
might be the means lot of boilerplate code. This is the one reason it helps us to means write the things easily and
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Okay. Yes, we can do things in very short manner. Like if we were writing 100 lines of code, we can do through Stream API by 20 line, 25 lines, right? That's a valid point. And
correct,
also, if we have a big task, means millions of loops and millions of iterations, then we could use parallel stream, right? We could use
correct,
multi-threading concept there, right? So we have a
correct.
serial stream and parallel stream, as you know, right? So
Yes.
these are the major two reasons. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And what do you know about functional interfaces?
Interface which is having only one method, that
Mm-hmm.
particular interface we called it as the functional interface. So
Okay.
and basically, if you want to write any means, we can write the lambda expression for this
Mm-hmm.
functional interface because interface will be having only one method, and for that one method in the lambdas, whatever will be we will be writing, that will be the particular method, that
Okay.
particular.
Got it. Moving ahead. So, what's your comfortable Java programming language?
Java 17.
Java 17. Sorry, I was asking for version. Yes, you said 17. So just tell me the new features that were introduced in 17, but uh, not in Java 8. Only
Uh,
introduced in 17.
okay, the first one is the record means instead of creating the class defining getters and setter,
Hmm.
instead of that we can directly go with the records.
Okay.
And second one
Can
is
can
the
a record
C,
implement interfaces?
record implement interface. Mm, basically, it is the DTO, but I'm not sure whether it
Okay.
can implement. I haven't tried.
Yes, it can implement. Okay.
Okay,
Whether can a record extends a class?
record extends a class.
No, it cannot extend a class. Uh,
Okay,
can a record add custom methods?
record add a custom methods. I guess no, but I have not utilized that much
Yeah,
records.
it can
Only for
add.
the DTOs. Okay.
Okay, so only for DTOs you have used. Okay, it's fine. No worries. Moving ahead. Can you tell me the difference between equals method and double equal operator?
Double equal operator. So whenever we do the double equals, so
Mm-hmm.
basically at that time we are directly checking the reference of that particular
Mm-hmm.
uh, means if we are comparing the int or integer, then directly the reference will get check. But in case of the equals, it will check key, it will check that particular means we have overridden the particular equals method, then that particular logic it will check key by reference and by their particular, let's suppose if we have the employee class and
Mm-hmm.
in that our id, from the id we can define ki whether two employees are equal or not. So it
Mm-hmm.
will basically check ki both the ids are equal, then only if we have overridden that particular method, then it will give the true, but if
Mm-hmm.
it is not, then it will give the false.
Got it. That's correct. If two objects are equals according to the equals method, then
Okay,
what about their hash codes? Will they equal or will they different?
they will be equal.
Why?
because ideally means there is a means we have to make sure ki if let's suppose you are saying ki two objects are same, then ideally their hash code should be also same. So while
Okay.
implementing we have to make sure ki if we
Mm-hmm.
are overriding the equals method, then we are overriding the hash code also. Because if two as I said ki two objects are similar, then ideally their hash code should be also equal.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Correct, correct.
So if we are not means overriding the hash code method, then in case of the collection framework, let's suppose you are using the
Mm-hmm.
set of particular classes, let's suppose set of the employees, and
Mm-hmm.
by ID only you are comparing whether two objects are similar, two employees are same or not. So let's suppose you have overridden only equals method, but
Mm-hmm.
not hash code. So
Mm-hmm.
what happened? Let's suppose I have created the two employees with ID 11, but their hash code is different. So in this case, if I put these two employees in my basically set, then it will consider key these are the same, but it is having the different hash code. So it will create
Mm-hmm.
the problem.
Got it. Uh, can you please tell me some annotations of Spring Boot that you use in your day-to-day task? That's are very important, right?
So uh, stereotype annotations like at the rate controller, at the rate
Mm-hmm.
service, at the rate repository,
Mm-hmm.
then means auto wired at the rate auto wired, and sometimes also we go with the at the rate qualifier and at the rate bin. So these are the things I use most of the time.
Okay. Why do you or why do we use auto-add annotation?
So at the rate auto wired we use in order to provide the uh, dependency to particular dependent class.
Okay.
So
So,
at the time of runtime, automatically that particular uh,
mhm.
dependency will get injected in that particular dependent class,
Okay.
and that
So,
particular bin will get,
okay.
yes.
So whatever the purpose you are telling, so auto-add is the best way to serve that purpose.
We are having the constructor injection also. By
Okay.
using constructor injection also we can achieve the same thing. That is the
What's the best way
means
to achieve?
uh, somewhere I have read this is constructor injection, but I am not sure ki why it is
Yeah, because
preferred.
testing is difficult and mocking and a lot of stuff, right?
Okay.
Maintaining uh, auto-add, it's not a good practice actually. So that's why constructor injection is preferred. Okay. Have you used configuration properties or value annotations?
Yes, I have used this particular two
So
annotations.
what's their
So
differences? I just want to know.
If we are using at the rate value, then only that particular one means let's suppose we are having the 10 fields, then for the on
Mm-hmm.
the top of the 10 fields, you have to write the at the rate value annotation each time.
Mm-hmm.
But let's
Okay.
suppose inside the you are having a project, let's suppose
Mm-hmm.
Spring means I am giving some random name Spring, and inside
Mm-hmm.
that there are 10 variables, application name, server
Mm-hmm.
dot means port,
Mm-hmm.
etc., etc., and you want to read these properties inside your code. So in this case you can go with the at the rate configuration, and you will
Mm-hmm.
just write that particular prefix, what is the particular start point, and
Mm-hmm.
afterwards in the class if you are writing the all the names as it is, then you will be basically able to access the all the variables easily. So that is the
Okay.
difference means.
Got it. Got it. Mm, moving ahead. Have you worked with caching?
Caching I have not worked, but in my some of the personal project I tried to
Okay.
implement means
So what is the
use the
idea to
Redis as
implement the caching and uh, how can we do that?
so the idea behind using the caching is, let's suppose you are having some data which is not changing, but it is getting
Mm-hmm.
frequently accessed. So in such cases, every time hitting the database is not the ideal solution. We can keep this data in memory, and basically
Mm-hmm.
whenever the user is requesting for this particular uh, data, then we can, from the
Mm-hmm.
cache itself, we can return that particular data. So by using this, basically our database calls get reduced and our request time will be also means minimized. So for caching, I have used means Redis. So you have to run Redis in your means whenever basically in your wherever you are running basically project, or
Mm-hmm.
means across the means domains, across the nodes also you can uh, connect to the cache kind of a thing.
Okay, got it. But do you know about some annotations like cache evict, cache put, cacheable?
Huh. Cache evict means whenever we want to uh, delete that particular means record, then at that time we can go with the cache evict.
Mm-hmm.
Cache put means already we are having a value in the cache, but we want to update that particular value. Cache put means
Mm-hmm.
first time we want to put, then we can go with the particular annotations.
Okay, got it. Can you tell me the difference between integration tests and JUnit tests?
Mm. I have not used the means testing in that, but whatever
Okay.
I am aware, I will try to explain. So in the
Mm-hmm.
J unit, basically we try to check the particular business logic, whatever we have written. So that
Mm-hmm.
particular, let's suppose we are having the calculation, that only part we will try to check using the J unit. But in case of
Mm-hmm.
integration, we check the complete flow of the
Mm-hmm.
request, we can
Okay.
say.
Yes, in JUnit test cases, we actually test our backend, we test our functionalities, business logics, right? Code coverage, code quality,
Correct.
right? But through integration tests, we just do end-to-end testing. We just test whole application from UI till backend till database, right? We just run some real scenarios. We just create real users and run some functionalities for those real users, right? That's a basic
Correct.
difference. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Just tell me how much AI you guys are using in your project.
So currently in my organization means we are not adopting AI that much because
Okay.
due to the means data privacy related things we are
Mm-hmm.
not utilizing. But as I have explored the things, means
Mm-hmm.
I have explored the some of the Spring AI, means not in
Mm-hmm.
that depth, but try to go with the Spring AI, and also
So what's the
using the
purpose of
basic.
Spring AI? I don't know. I haven't used it Spring AI. Just want to know. Why do we use Spring AI? What's the feature of Spring AI?
So basically, by using the Spring AI, let's suppose you want to interact with the LLMs, and
Mm-hmm.
let's suppose you want to build your MCP server.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of a things we can easily achieve using the Spring AI. So basically, for the Java developers, it is
Mm-hmm.
a plus point, because in if their existing application in is in Java, then they can use this particular framework itself
Mm-hmm.
to extend their earlier project itself.
Got it. Okay, nowadays actually we are, I mean, many organizations are using Git, Copilot, Claude, and other AI just to
Correct.
do some hands-on, right?
Correct.
Okay, moving ahead. Have you used? I mean, how you guys are using or doing deployments?
So basically, we are having a monolithic application. So directly
Mm-hmm.
building a jar, and means in the particular node we have the set up the systemctl command. So just we brings down the services, and we after once we before that we take the our particular jar to that particular direct
Hmm.
means directory, and just downs the services, and after replacing the jar we just means ops the services basically using the systemctl.
Okay. And how can we secure our REST API?
Secure. So we can secure our APIs using this Spring Security also, and
Okay.
JWT tokens. So
Okay.
JWT tokens, it is a stateless. But
Mm-hmm.
if we are going with the section based, so it
Mm-hmm.
is stateful. So that particular state will be maintained, and again the some of the RAM space will be get utilized if you are using the sections.
Okay. Why
So
do we
again
use
the
tokens?
So basically, the tokens are stateless, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, let's suppose you want to scale horizontally tomorrow. Then talking means talking between the services among the nodes, that will be easier if we
Mm-hmm.
are going with the stateless, because in case of the stateful on that particular node itself, we will be having that section, so that will be the difficult.
Okay.
So
Got it.
that
And when we call any API, we just pass the tokens. And before token, we just add bearer space and then token. So what does that bearer means?
so as I know that bearer means ki I'm giving the author means uh, giving the authority to validate my token kind of a thing.
Yes, yes. I think it's a foreign word. I think from it inspired from Greek or Spanish. I don't know. But yes, it means I'm just sending someone, please authenticate and authorize it.
Okay.
Correct.
So basically, in the code also, sometimes we check that we are actually means taking the right token or not. So we check
Mm-hmm.
the whether it is the bearer keyword with one space, and we
Mm-hmm.
also do the substring afterwards. So in order to make sure we are taking the correct token.
Mm. Okay. Let's say if someone asks you to upgrade the versions of APIs, and yes, definitely while upgrading APIs, code changes would be a little different. There would be some optimizations, right? For example, currently we have V1 versions, right? Now we are upgrading it to V2, right?
V2,
So
correct.
obviously few optimizations would be there, code changes would be there. So how would you ensure the backward compatibility? Means you have implemented new API, but you want to make sure the clients who still are using some older functionalities won't break it, something like that. You just want to implement the new API as well as don't break the client's functionalities if they are 100% dependency on the older APIs, something like that.
So in that case, means we can implement a new vertical versioning. Like let's suppose earlier one is V1,
Mm-hmm.
we will be implementing V2, and
Mm-hmm.
whatever our new logic, we will just keep in that particular V2
Mm-hmm.
related thing only. And
Mm-hmm.
once we are confirmed ki our earlier clients are not using the V1, then we can
Mm-hmm.
deprecate it completely, and we can shift to the V2 version.
Mm-hmm.
So in
Okay.
this way, and also it depends ki what kind of the things you are doing from one build to means one release to another release. So sometimes what happens ki if there are some database changes which
Mm-hmm.
completely changes the relations between the tables, then in such cases achieving the backward compatibility is not that much simple.
Mm-hmm.
Means because as the relation itself is changed, uh, versioning is difficult in such cases. But if only the business logic is changing, then achieving the means versioning is easier task with respect
Mm-hmm.
to database changes, if
Got
I
it.
compare.
And also in the newer APIs, we can add some fallback methods. If something is failing, just redirect to the older API, something like that,
Yes, yes.
right? Okay.
Correct.
Moving ahead. Uh, what do you know about design patterns and how you guys are using in your project, in your real life? And what's the
Uh,
purpose of
so
design patterns?
so I will first start with the design pattern. So design patterns, we can say it as a some kind of means implementation that is earlier thought itself, so that
Mm-hmm.
even if tomorrow we want to our core code will be much organized
Mm-hmm.
and implementing the features will be easier.
Mm-hmm.
So I was aware about some 4 or 5 design patterns. First one is this singleton pattern, in which
Mm-hmm.
we create only one objects. Then
Mm-hmm.
afterwards observer pattern is there. uh, uh, facade design pattern is there, but I'm not much aware about that.
Mm-hmm.
In my current project, we are not using this kind of design patterns, but there is one another project which is
Mm-hmm.
purely based in the core Java and some of the libraries. We have put it into that project. So there, basically, we are having a means that project we
Mm-hmm.
have built to ingest the data whatever we are receiving through the gateway. So in asynchronous way, using the Kafka, we basically ingest the data to our edge base. So for that
Mm-hmm.
purpose, we have used the interface related pattern. So we don't have the concrete methods there, concrete class there. So let's
Mm-hmm.
suppose there I have not that much hands-on on that particular code, but I have seen the code. So let's suppose we are having a data source. So
Mm-hmm.
there we are not implementing the direct concrete class for the database. So we are having
Mm-hmm.
the HBase and MySQL. So we have the interface called as data source. So
Mm-hmm.
based upon the requirement, wherever we want to ingest the data in MySQL, we use the MySQL class, and whenever we
Mm-hmm.
want to go with HBase, we have implemented it like that. So tomorrow, let's
Mm-hmm.
suppose another database is also coming, then uh, putting that thing is easier there.
Got it. Okay, so if some since you are having 2 years of experience, right? If some fresher join your team, so what would be your suggestions in terms of good code practices?
In terms of good code practices.
Mm-hmm.
So I will first say key don't jump into the directly implementation part, because
Okay.
once you make the implementation, then afterwards it will be
Mm-hmm.
difficult if your thought process is not clear. So first I will
Mm-hmm.
tell key make sure ki whatever you are thinking from end to
Mm-hmm.
end you are the clear what you are going to do. First thing
Mm-hmm.
that if you are sure, then only start into coding the particular
Correct.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, and while doing the things, I will suggest ki uh, use means don't stick to one particular code. If you get the chance ki how you can implement that particular, if you are having time to
Mm-hmm.
think ki how you can optimize that particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that aspect I will suggest. So in this way, if you will get the many learning things, I will say.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it. So, uh, yes, I think Rohan, it's done from my end.